First, welcome to this educational video on navigating immigration enforcement safely and confidently. Today we will explain why precise knowledge of your legal status is your best protection, what documents you must carry, and how to handle encounters with enforcement agents. We will also clarify common confusions between naturalization and adjustment of status. Please remember this is general information, not legal advice. Next, to set the stage, we acknowledge that immigration enforcement activity can create widespread anxiety, especially for people in the midst of adjustment of status or awaiting naturalization. The key principle is straightforward. Precise knowledge of your current legal status is paramount to your security. Now, here is our agenda. We will begin by differentiating between naturalization and adjustment of status, then outline essential documents to carry, followed by an encounter playbook. After that, we will visualize the concepts with multiple diagrams. We will also include short quizzes and finish with key takeaways and a summary. Before proceeding, a brief but essential disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. Immigration facts and outcomes depend on your unique circumstances and jurisdiction. If you have questions about your status or documents, consult a qualified immigration attorney. Moving forward, we must address the most common confusion: the difference between naturalization and adjustment of status. Naturalization typically applies to lawful permanent residents filing for citizenship. Adjustment of status is the process of seeking lawful permanent resident status. These categories have different rights and documentation requirements. If you are an LPR with a valid green card and have not violated residency terms, your status is generally secure. In contrast, if you only have an employment authorization document while awaiting your permanent residency interview, your status is provisional and subject to different rules. Critically, a pending application, whether permanent residence or citizenship, is not a shield against enforcement. If you are unsure which category you fall into, consult an immigration attorney immediately. Furthermore, let us compare lawful permanent residents to individuals with a pending adjustment of status and only an employment authorization document. Lawful permanent residents possess permanent resident status, must carry their physical green card when outside, and typically have stronger protection during encounters. Those with pending adjustment and only an EAD have provisional work authorization, should carry their EAD and proof of a pending application, and are comparatively more vulnerable. This provisional status is not equivalent to lawful permanent residence or citizenship. Additionally, regarding documentation, lawful permanent residents must carry their green card when outside the home. Individuals with only provisional authorization should carry their EAD and, if applicable, other current authorization documents. Receipt notices can help demonstrate that an application is pending but do not confer lawful permanent resident status. Conversely, items like marriage certificates or personal records typically do not establish current lawful presence during an enforcement stop and may add confusion. Now let's move to your encounter playbook. First, identify yourself with the required document for your status, but do not elaborate about your immigration history or intentions. Second, exercise your right to remain silent by clearly stating that you wish to remain silent. Third, request counsel and avoid signing documents until you have spoken with an attorney. Fourth, do not sign anything under pressure or that you do not understand. Finally, ask whether you are free to leave. If you are told yes, depart calmly. To visualize the decision points during a stop, this flowchart begins with being engaged by an enforcement agent. You identify your current status: lawful permanent resident, pending adjustment with an EAD, or non-immigrant. Depending on your status, you show the corresponding document: green card for LPRs, EAD, and receipts for pending adjustment, or passport with valid I-94 or other valid identification for non-immigrants. At each branch you do not discuss your history. You then state that you wish to remain silent and request an attorney before signing anything. Finally, you determine whether you are free to leave. If yes, you calmly depart. If no, you maintain silence and await counsel. This timeline illustrates a common, conceptual pathway: non-immigrant entry, followed by filing for adjustment or related processes, then a period of pending adjustment with employment authorization, then lawful permanent residences, and finally, naturalization. The key lesson is that pending applications do not confer the same protection as confirmed lawful status. While awaiting, carry the appropriate documents, such as the EAD and receipt notices. Once an LPR, you must carry your green card when outside the home. Remember, citizenship is not granted until the oath is taken. Until then, you remain an LPR. This mind map connects the key responses during an enforcement encounter. Start with identification without elaboration, showing the correct document based on your status. Next, invoke your right to remain silent and avoid discussing history or intentions. Then, request counsel and refuse to sign documents without an attorney. Finally, address safety by asking if you are free to leave. If allowed, depart calmly. If not, remain silent and await counsel. This structure reduces panic and errors under stress. At this point, here is a quick knowledge check. During an enforcement stop, which document is most relevant for a lawful permanent resident to present? Option A, marriage certificate. Option B, photos with family. Option C, green card, also known as Form I-551. Option D, tax returns. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is C, the green card, also known as Form I-551s. Lawful permanent residents are required to carry the green card when outside the home, and it serves as proof of current lawful status. Now here is a second knowledge check. If you are questioned about your immigration history during a stop, what is the safest immediate verbal response? Option A. Explain your entire application history. Option B. Say that you wish to remain silent. Option C. Argue about your eligibility. Option D. Sign any form the agent gives you. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is B. Politely state that you wish to remain silent. This preserves your rights and prevents you from making statements that could affect your case. Do not argue or sign documents without counsel. As we consolidate, remember these key takeaways. First, know your exact status. Naturalization pending, adjustment pending, and lawful permanent residence are distinct. Second, carry the correct identification for your status, with lawful permanent residents required to carry the green card. Third, pending applications do not shield you from enforcement. Fourth, during encounters, show required identification briefly, remain silent, and request counsel. Finally, if uncertain about anything, consult a qualified immigration attorney immediately. To summarize, clarity about your current legal status reduces risk and anxiety. Carry only the documents that prove your current authorization. Use your rights by staying silent and requesting counsel before signing anything. Plan ahead by maintaining copies of essential notices and having contact information for an attorney ready. Finally, thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please like the video, share it with your community, and subscribe for more practical guidance. What is your biggest question about status and documents? Share your thoughts in the comments so we can cover them in future videos.